Today, I'm happy to have Ashley Michaud from Environmental Growth here with us. We're going to talk a little bit about her business and her services that she offers, and also just a bit about her experience as an entrepreneur. I know that she's been working with BACD for quite a while, and I'm sure she'd love to tell you a little bit about all of that. So welcome, Ashley.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad it worked out the way that it did and that I can be here. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you very much. So as everybody knows, or if you don't know, the goal of the Business Advisory Centre Durham is to help people achieve business success. So for each business, that is something different, but it's really about what is the success that you want for your business. And we strive to be the go-to organization that helps businesses achieve that. And we do that through offering workshops, entrepreneurship training programs, and any advisory services as well. And a lot of our services are actually free of charge so that we can help you make money, because when you make money, you spend money. And that means that you support our local community. So I'm excited to have Ashley here as one of our clients talking. Ashley, tell me a little bit about you. Did you go through one of our programs here at BACD?
I did your Do It in Durham, and that's how I first found you guys. And then after that, I started working with Patrice, and I've attended a few other events that you guys have done since as well.
Excellent. Thank you. And I hope, has it been helpful for you?
Oh, absolutely. Everyone has given me something different. And, you know, it's so funny. I actually even showed up to one by accident one time, and you guys were so welcoming. You let me in, sit in on all the talks and everything. And I took probably the most out of that accidental one than I did any of the ones that I purposely put myself in. But that just goes to show like some of the synchronicities and magic that can happen in life, right?
That's very true. And I know that as a Reiki master, that there's a lot of that energy work. So tell us a little bit about you, your career to get where you are today.
Well, it's I started out, I guess, doing hospitality and tourism. I went to school for that because I was already working in the industry a little bit, and everybody was going to college, and I just wanted to be one of them. I wanted to prove that I was smart. I wanted to make more money and all these things. So I went in and I did it. However, the lifestyle itself still included a lot of partying, late nights, hours that wasn't serving me, lifestyle that really wasn't serving me and my bigger goals. So I kind of dropped everything for a little while, and I just recentered and found who I was, and I started aligning with my purpose and my passion a little bit more. And from there, I got my diet back on track. I got my circadian rhythm back on track, and tons of other things too, which eventually led me to get into a nutrition school, which helped me a lot in my own life, as well as start helping other people as a career to integrate all of my experiences along with my education to help people create roadmaps for their own health. And yeah, from there, I actually ended up taking other courses too, like one in coaching mastery. I got certified as a Reiki master teacher, and in hormone health as well.
Yeah. Very cool. I had a girlfriend who actually went through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and it was a intense course.
Yeah.
So much information. I thought it was really so powerful, right?
Yeah. It's a little bit overwhelming at first because you're getting information from, it's like over 100 dietary theories. So like you're barely learning it all. And then all of these other speakers, while they're amazing, it does feel like a lot, but you also get an accountability partner and other things that kind of helps you walk through it. And of course you can, once you hit your 6-month mark, you can actually start implementing a lot of what you're doing. You don't have to completely finish the program before starting, which really helps it all sink in and helps you find your own way and your own path in that niche market, you know, that everybody's looking for.
Yes. So what does it mean to be a certified coaching master? Like what does that give you, or where are you using that?
So for that one, it was more for like the counseling aspects of it, and getting deeper with qualifying questions, with high mileage questions, those questions that make people just blah, 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 like everything, because that's really what our goal is as a coach, is to get to the truth and get our clients to open up about the truth of what's going on, so then we can better help them help themselves.
Right.
And so that program was really powerful. It was definitely shorter than the nutrition school one, but again, like everything that they do, they do make it really condensed. So you have to be prepared for it.
Yes.
You're getting into.
I did a coaching certification too, and I found it was very helpful too, because that's what you want to do. If you're coaching people, you actually want them to evoke change in their own lives, and they want to change the problems they're experiencing or the outcomes they've experiencing. So it's a wonderful opportunity to help them change whatever that is, or see what change they could be if they understand their patterns and their thought patterns and that kind of thing. So very cool. I'd love to ask you a little bit about Reiki. So I'm sure many people ask, what is it and how do you do it? And what do you say to people?
I tell them straight up, it's just a kick-ass relaxation technique. I hope I'm allowed to say that on here.
Of course you are.
So yeah, so many people today are feeling the stress, the overwhelm, the disconnect. Even though we're connected through the internet, so many people are disconnected in other ways, disconnected from nature, disconnected from parts of themselves, from their families. And so like working with the Reiki energy really helps align you, so then you can align the rest of your life. And the technique itself is really relaxing. I have some people that just fall asleep right on the table, while other people get more emotional and maybe release some of emotions that they have been holding on to for a long time. And if you guys know anything about the chakras or familiar with that, a lot of it too is balancing those energies, trying to bring it all into an alignment, which can, for some people, like lead into more childhood stuff, and for others, it goes into even farther back into family karmas and different things like that.
Very cool. Very cool. So what do people expect out of the session? It's really just going to be relaxing and just kind of like surrender to relaxing and being there?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah, it sounds so simple, but that's probably the most important thing, and what they get the most out of it is just like an hour that's for themselves to just lay there and be. Like, people struggle with meditation, especially if they're practicing that on their own. Reiki can be a good gateway into that, because you don't have a choice. There's somebody else there with their hands above you doing these other techniques, and really putting in so much love and energy into you that you don't have a choice but to just open up and do it. To be there and to absorb that energy and to be there with themselves as well.
Good, thank you. Tell us a little bit about some of the services that you offer at Elemental Growth.
So I offer Reiki teacher training. So you'd get your level 1, 2, 3, the masters. I teach you how to run workshops or trainings and things like that yourself. I teach how to actually do the practice on yourself first with level 1, and then onto others level 2, and then to make money at it level 3. And I also do like a spiritual biz attached to that. So my program is quite different from other people. They don't always integrate those business parts of it, but I'm really there. It kind of turns in, once you get your level 3, it turns into almost a mastermind where I'm guiding you, and we're going through this to make it unique to you and how you want to practice your business, but still take in all of these tools. Yeah.
Very cool. So that's one of your services, is the workshops.
Yes. My main one is health coaching. So I create a personal roadmaps to health for my clients that are coming in. Some of them are just for nutrition, and some of them is people who are struggling with addictive behaviors that really want to stay on track with their health goals. So even though I call myself a health coach, I have these certifications as nutrition coach and hormone health coach and stuff. Really what I am is an accountability coach. And most of my clients that come to me are ones with addictive behaviors, whether that be that they're actually went through a program as a recovering addict, or they just recognize in themselves that they have these tendencies, or these tendencies to throw themselves under the bus, or to stop, or let fear get in their way. And I just help push them through that.
And get them feeling healthy and feeling good about themselves, right?
Yeah, happy, healthy, and yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about, I mean, you've been doing this for a few years now. What do you think has worked for you in terms of the marketing that you've been doing?
Oh, so I'm actually in a program with Xander Fryer right now to help me even more with those aspects, but it's coming from a direction as from coaches that are doing this and very successful in it. So it is like quite unique to my program, and they're teaching me a lot of things that I should be doing that I wasn't doing, and I'll share like first I'll share with you what I was doing that was working, and then I'll share like one or two of the things that I'm learning now.
Okay, thank you.
So what I was doing is I post every single day on Instagram, and so often when I'm scrolling through there, I always try to reach out with an actual comment to people that relate to my content or have similar content, because it's all about collaboration, not competition. So you want to make friends with the people who are also your competition, because there's a lot of opportunity there for growth, because not everybody is doing the same thing, even though it seems that way on a small scale, like in the big picture, it's not. So I do that, and I'll share their content onto my story, so there's always something there, even if I can't post a story that day. I'm still showing up in the feed. So that is one thing that's been helping. And then another one is Facebook groups. I haven't been so active in mine lately, which is like the bad Ashley, but it's because I've been so busy with this new program. But I think that that's a really powerful way too, to get into other people's groups and engage and start talking and get yourself seen, as well as in your own group posting. If you are a coach that's watching this, you know you don't want to be giving away everything that you're doing or all the hows, but you do definitely want something that your following can engage with and maybe start asking questions about, to get more into those details, so that you can bring them onto a call or a consultation or something.
Very cool. And what has Sandra been teaching you? Is that what you were just mentioning, or there was more than that?
Yeah, so Xander, oh my God, they are like an amazing team. It's high impact coaching, and yeah, Xander's worked with like Jack Canfield. They even did a book together. They're like now, yeah, Xander, Zander, Fryer.
Okay.
So yeah, some of the stuff that we're learning is like what they call the perfect consultation. And what's the most important thing is not the actual consultation itself. It's the spiritual work that you're doing, the mindset work that you're doing before you even get on. Having that like 5 minutes before the consultation where you're meditating about the person and how you're going to help this person and maybe who they are. Maybe you do some like, I forget what they call that when you're searching the person beforehand, creeping. Maybe you creep them before the consultation. That way it's easier to build rapport. And when you're doing this meditation technique, you know that person already. It just makes everything have a lot more flow. And I found that so powerful, and I hope that helps you guys as well.
I wouldn't call it creeping. I would just call it, when you're researching the people you want to meet.
Yeah, that's a way better way of saying it. I just knew that there was a term that I've heard before.
Yes, but I don't like to use it. I always call it researching. I mean,
yeah.
Let's face it, in today's world, we are all researching the people we're going to meet with and the organizations and who we want to market to and all that kind of thing. So it's just what we do. The information is there, and information is power, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also prepares you to do better in your business.
My mom says that all the time.
So I'm a total geek when it comes to anything to do with the law of attraction, spiritual work, the mindset. I follow so many different practitioners who work on this. In fact, I have a girlfriend who's a law of attraction teacher, and we do a podcast together about the law of attraction. And, it's been so useful and so wonderful for my growth. I'm a yoga teacher, and I've been for 13 years. So to me, the whole energy piece is so important. And, on a basic level, or on a, physical level, we all understand that we are made of energy, and that the vibe that we bring into spaces attracts certain, you know, people, places, and things that happen, or circumstances that happen. But what we don't always understand is the second part, where we are actually responsible for that we can actually change it.
Yeah.
Which I think is very powerful. Is that's the piece that's difficult, right? And I mean, that's the piece that you're busy learning, is the whole spiritual side to like being in business.
Yeah, so I may have the certification of master in all these other areas, but it doesn't mean anything unless you're continuously doing it. You know, you're always going to be improving. The more that you know, the more you realize you don't know anything. And the more you practice, the more you realize you have more work to do. And the way that I see it is, until I master this financial part and this business part, I haven't mastered anything. I haven't even mastered energy work, nothing, because it all is energy. And there is a flow to it, and I'm working to tap into that now, and hopefully share more about that journey with you guys in the future.
Yes, I think you'll see that. So another question I have for you, like, what made you decide you wanted to be in your own business? Like, yeah, what inspired you to do that?
I think I always wanted it. My vision for myself as a kid was to have my own exercises with me before I would dream, because I had horrible nightmares. Like, my childhood really wasn't that healthy or anything. And even though my mom was not always the best mother, there was some techniques and things that she did that were so impactful. And there's a reason why our parents are our parents, right? Like, you, it doesn't matter what the relationship is like. There are these things that make it all make sense. And so what she would do is, before I would go and dream, she would ask me to start visualizing what I actually wanted in my life and what my future was going to look like. And I always wanted to have like a center in nature, and bring people back to nature, and show them this good time, like access to like tours and all these other things. And so I knew automatically that I wanted to be my own entrepreneur. I just didn't know how I was going to get there. And to do what I want to do, you need a lot of money, like especially in today's age. So, so to get to that point, I needed to master these skills. And, you know, so hospitality and tourism, it did come in handy. All these other business courses that I do, working with nutrition and all that, it all still comes full circle. And all this now has given me my how, the answer to that question that I was always trying to figure out.
And you already have your why.
Yes.
Now you just need to figure out all the whats of all the pieces you need to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And break it down into small enough action steps that it can all get done.
I agree. Honestly, if anybody says, I don't need to learn anymore, I think I've got it all, I'm doing it, I just think they start to, they probably regress to some degree, because everybody has to be continually learning, no matter what, even in today's terms, right? Today, I think business and marketing and selling is a lot more complex than it used to be. So to me, you know, you're doing the right things. You've got to keep your skills honed. You've got to keep your pencil sharp, and, you know, keep focusing on what it is you're doing with yourself, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So another question I have for you, if I may, is, are there any books that you would recommend to people to read? Like, if you've read any business books lately that have
Yeah. So the first one I'm going to recommend is mine, because I recently published a book that's called Be the Change, Your Guide to Elemental Growth Through Nature, Love, Food, and Movement. And while it is like a self-help book that uses nature to nurture you through the process, it's also really good for businesses, and it's helped me stay accountable to my goals, because it breaks down the seasons, which we call them quarters instead of seasons. So it gives you kind of a guideline how to do that, as well as breaking down your goals into each month using the moon cycles. So, you know, the full moon,
yeah,
time to release. The new moon is a time to ask and manifest. So when you're doing that, it really helps you keep yourself accountable. And then, of course, you know, I add in a bunch of stuff about seasonal recipes and other health tips and tips to stay fit and all of that aligns with each season. And that, again, can be helpful in business, because if your health isn't right, nothing else in your life is going to be right. There's always going to be that thing or something else that's going to take priority, because it's your health is you. You know, you have to take care of yourself in those ways first.
Very
Before you
cool.
can help anybody else with your business. So
I love that idea. I will link to your book in the show notes so that people have access to it. Where is it for sale?
on Amazon, but you can get it from elementalgrowth.org/b-the-change. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I'll link to it for sure.
Some other books that I would recommend when it comes to business is I'm reading one right now that's called Clients, Clients, and More Clients. I can't remember the author, but I just started this one and it's been good for me, like what I need right now at this point in time, because honestly, I've been running my business for about 2.5, 3 years now since I got my master business license for that. Except I didn't graduate until July this year from my last course. So I was doing everything for free until then. And then I got to this point where I'm like, okay, now I have these student debts and I do really have to be making money because I still want to get to these goals. Now I know that how am I going to get to the goals, but I got to start implementing everything. And so I was really stuck. So that's what I did.
And both of those have started to help you and turn it
To help
around.
me as well. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely am getting more consultations than before. I'm being more honest with like doing my Facebook lives. I'm not just going on, even though it's not scripted like how I was doing it before, I would still have bullet points and I would be thinking about what it is that I want to share with people. And lately when I've been doing it, I've just been going on and sharing my actual personal story, because then people have that to relate to, and it gives them more of a warm feeling to build rapport with me, maybe later on when I do put out other content that will resonate with them. And
very cool.
Yeah.
Can I link to your Facebook group as well if people want to join? Is it an open group?
Yep. So it's Facebook/group/elemental growth.
Yeah, I'll look it up and put it in the notes. How did you come up with the name Elemental Growth?
It was
a long process?
Yeah, it was. So I was searching for a name. I was going crazy because my business, I had a blog. My first blog was called Ashley's Vibes, and that was a name that an ex-boyfriend gave me. So I didn't want to keep that when I started my business. Just I didn't want that association. And then I started a business doing herbology and things as Ashley's Natural Alternatives. But when I actually got all my service certifications, I was like, okay, this has to be a real business now. And I was going crazy. I'm like, what do I do? I would ask everybody every question, like ask them what it is that they thought about me, what came to their mind, what they thought my business was. And then I started looking at my affirmations. What's an affirmation that I tell myself every single day? I am elemental growth. And so that's what I turned my Instagram into, and that's what I named my business.
That's awesome. It's a really good name to me. It means a lot of things, like elements, you know.
Yeah.
It means foundation. It means pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And the integration of all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is really important. Just another question for you. What advice would you give to people who are wanting to start their own business?
Feel the fear and do it anyway, because you have a gift. If you have this idea in your mind, that's a gift. Authors say it all the time, and musicians too, that something's coming to you. They have to run the house and get it down before that thought or that information travels on and goes somewhere else. And we see it with people inventing things. They'll have a great idea, a year later, there's another invention. Like, you just have to feel the fear and do it anyway, because it's in you for a reason. This is a gift that you're getting in the present moment that you need to use to your advantage, especially if it's aligned. If there's anything in you that says, I just have to do this, then take a couple deep breaths and take the first step to take action, and whatever that means. Maybe that just means research, a book from the library and just having it under your bed to get those vibes for the first little while, or joining a course, or writing down action steps that it's going to take. It doesn't matter. Just feel the fear and do something, because that'll start momentum. Otherwise, you're just going to let it phase out, and somebody else will take it and go off and do what it is that you felt you were supposed to do, and you're going to be pissed off forever.
Yeah,
that maybe not be true, but I just want to give you that, because you have it in you, and you can do it. You can do anything. Yeah.
I love that. Now that's a great way to end off, right? Is to say, really, people, we can do anything. We are beyond powerful. So
Yeah,
do it anyway. Yeah.
absolutely.
So Ashley, thank you so much for your time. It was awesome to get to know a little bit about you and let our readers, our audience learn about you as well. I will link to your website and the information that you shared with me, because I think that book sounds like it's a must buy. And thank you so much for your time today.
You as well. As I said, this was a wonderful opportunity, and I encourage any of you guys out there to give this a shot as well. It was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.